Hello, everyone. Hope you are doing well in these uncertain times and keeping safe. Welcome to your pre scene analysis for the strategic case study exam. The company that's been given to us in this case is Runnabout. Now, this is going to be the first video that you view throughout our pre scene analysis, which is about 2 hours or 2 hours 15 minutes in totality. Now it's this long and this comprehensive and this detailed because throughout our pre-scene analysis, like you will see going forward, we do not leave any stone unturned. We make sure that every single word from the pre-scene is analyzed, making sure that you have a good understanding about the company and you can use it as part of your answers when we go on to writing our mock questions. Now we do 25 mock questions which are exactly like the exam, making sure that you've done enough practice before you sit your exam. Now throughout these mock questions that you're going to write, it's going to be important to have a good and deep understanding about your company, because only if you know, in this case, for the competencies and what Runabout is good at, what is Runabout's business, only then will you be able to write a well detailed answer. So that is why we say that the pre-scene analysis is the first step towards a good exam or writing a good exam, or for that matter, writing a good answer. So let's go on with our pre-scene analysis, making sure that we analyze everything, and we'll give you hints throughout the pre-scene analysis. We'll make diagrams for you, we'll make arrows for you, making sure that we point out the important stuff, but we will also encourage you to make your own notes on the pre-scene analysis, which is just important words, important mentions here or there, which you can write in a Word file or on a piece of paper, which is stuff that you can easily remember. Now, having said that, you will also receive a full detailed pre-scene analysis PDF file of whatever you are seeing right now, because I understand and we understand that students like to print it out and keep some material in some front of them. So yes, you will receive that PDF file as well, which will accompany this video, just to make sure again you are listening to us, looking at our video, and you also have the pre-scene printed pages or the PDF file on your computer whenever you want to view it or whenever you want to read it. So we'll now start talking about our company Runabout and start analyzing the pre-scene. So in the introduction first, which they always give us, they're telling you that you are a senior manager in the finance function at Runabout. So your role for this strategic case study exam is going to be of a senior manager. Now we have highlighted a little bit more on the role of a senior manager in your case study exam in our introduction video, which I will link to this video here as well, and you can see it on the I button above. So just click on it and you can view our introduction and then come back to the pre-scene. You'll have a better understanding of what the role of a senior manager is. I have also detailed it a little bit here for you, just to make sure you don't lose that link that we've developed. So you are a senior manager in the finance function at Runabout, the parent company of the Runabout group. So they're telling you over here, clearly giving you an idea that you are a senior manager at a company which is consolidated. There is a parent subsidiary relationship, which is part of some of the assumed knowledge from your management level, where you just need to know a little bit about consolidation. So as you can see, we are highlighting the important points here and there for you with the hints that have been given in the pre-scene. Now, as a senior manager, you are supposed to look at the longer term strategic issues, which means your planning horizon is going to be of above 5 years. So whenever, let's say in the exam, they ask you for a recommendation, you need to know that you are a senior manager. You are supposed to give a long term view. Now, your audience will be directly the board of directors. And to give them a satisfactory answer, understanding the full scale of the business operation of what Runabout is actually, every single detail about Runabout is going to be very important for you to be able to project that longer term scenario, for you to be able to properly, recommend or properly understand what the question wants you to do. So from this page, we got highlights that first of all, we already knew we were a senior manager, but we highlighted a little bit more for you what's going to be your role, which is linked to the longer term. Also, we came to know that you are working at the finance function of a parent company of the Runabout Group. So you are a finance senior manager at this parent company of the Runabout Group. So a little bit knowledge of consolidation will also help. Moving on, they're telling us that you are reporting directly to the board of directors and you advise them on special projects and strategic matters, meaning your recommendation is going to hold a very good standing. Also further telling you that in your exam, when they ask you for a recommendation, it's going to carry marks. So again, this is highlighting the need for you to understand the full scope of our operations and what Runabout does, further highlighting the importance of the pre-scene analysis for that fact. Now, Runabout, they're telling us, is a quoted company. Quoted means it's listed on the stock exchange. So we've highlighted again for you, it is a listed company. So you need to know the benefits and the limitations of what uh, being a listed company is all about. So being listed means your shares can be traded on the stock exchange. So there are advantages where you can raise capital easily. You have, enhanced higher visibility. There is more transparency, but there are disadvantages as well because you will have to report, there will be enhanced reporting requirements. There is loss of management control in certain situations, and it also increases your liability because if you don't report, if you don't create those statutory reports which are legal in certain countries, there can be a lawsuit, there can be a further a further investigation that can be launched on your company. So there are advantages and disadvantages of everything. Why am I telling you this? Because I want you to some way, somehow get this into your mind that okay, Runabout is a quoted company. So whenever you're writing an answer which can involve anything about us being a quoted company, you can quickly include a line which can say we are a quoted company, so we'll be able to raise finance from the stock market itself if needed. So just a small line there acts as a trigger for the examiner to know that okay, this person has at least gone through the pre-scene, and it shows more inclusiveness in your answer, and the pre-scene is further integrated in your answer, which gives good business skills as well. So again, just remember that all of these images, all of these diagrams that we're making for you is for the reason that you get these, you get an idea of what you can use in your answer. And everything that you see in our document, in our video is there for you to use. So just make sure you use them as triggers, and whenever you find it important when we are writing our mock answers, or whenever you want to go ahead with the discussion with me in our live classes that we do, you can get back to me on that, and we'll further show you going forward when we are going to do classes that is all about how to write an answer. What does a case study answer include? What is a good case study answer? You can come up with ideas, and we'll obviously tell you how all of this pre-scene you can include in a good answer. But the bottom line is, the more you understand about the company with all of these diagrams or all of these arrows that we put for you, the better ideas you will have when you do your mocks with us. So they tell you that it's a quoted company that operates a pay-as-you-go hoverboard vehicles for the use of public in major cities. So you are a company that gives hoverboards on hire. It's a pay-as-you-go service. So like you use bicycles in, you can pick them up from any stand, put them back on any stand, like in many European or Western countries. Same way, Runabout is offering hoverboards. You pay for an hour, use the hoverboard, and put it back. That's what the business model is about. Very briefly. Now, when I hear the word hoverboard, the first thing that comes to my mind that it's going to be an innovative and a developing market because it's still coming up. It's not very prominent in many parts of the world yet. You might see it in some countries or some cities which are very advanced, but not in every part of the world. So I know that this is a market which is still innovating, which is still growing. Now, this can give you further ideas when you want to write a good answer because you can just say, whenever you're writing your answer, starting your answer, you can quickly say that, we know that our market of hoverboards is still innovative, is still developing. So it's going to be important for us to look at new avenues of how we can increase our revenues, how we can be first to a market. So as you can see, I'm giving you small hints here and there of how you can better your answer with the help of this pre-seen knowledge, with the help of this pre-seen explanations that we are giving you. And that's the main point. Everybody can know what the pre-seen is, but if you don't actually use it in your answer, if you don't actually understand the meaning of it for your company, it's not of any use. So these highlighted points that we are giving you, please remember again, they are only for you to use in your answer and understand further what your company does. As we move further into our pre-scene, they're telling us that Gland, which is the fictional country which they've given you for your pre-scene, is a large and prosperous country with a population of more than 1 billion people. So as you can see, it's quite a populated country, but it's still very prosperous, meaning it's developed. It's a country that is well to do. So this clearly points out to me two very important things. Now this tells me that demand conditions from the Porter's Diamond, which is part of your E3 syllabus and is also part of your CIMA exam blueprints, which is something new which is introduced by CIMA for the from the new 2019 syllabus that they introduced, where they give you certain core areas that you're supposed to know before your case study exam. Now we do a full explanation on the CIMA blueprint core areas as well as a separate PDF file, making sure that again you're not missing out on anything and everything for your case study exam comes from us. So going back, they tell us that Zealand is a large and prosperous country. So it shows me that the demand conditions in this country is going to be high. Now, obviously, if it's a country that is prosperous, people have money to spend, they have a good disposable income, they are going to be interested in these innovative models and they will have the money to spend. So, from this, we learn that Zealand is a highly developed economy, which means people have the interest and the money to spend on such services such as hoverboards. But if it's not a well to do country, do you think their first agenda or their first aim is going to be spend money on a hoverboard? No. Also, this tells us that if it's a prosperous country, the government will have infrastructure in place to promote such markets. Now if it's a prosperous country, you have good roads, you have good you have good sidewalks where these hoverboards can be used. So this has to be seen as one of your competitive advantages, one of the very important things of your business, that okay, you are situated in a country that is promoting businesses of your type or which is happy to support businesses of your type. Again, why do I tell you all of this? Let's say you're writing any answer on revenue or market share or growth, or for that matter, any answer. You can quickly just include a line saying that Zealand is a prosperous country and is a developed country, which tells us that our people or our country's population will be happy to explore and use our services if we were to expand into further cities, further towns of Zealand. So again, everything that we're doing is for the reason to help you understand how you can use or how you can link your E3, P3, F3 material with the help of the pre-scene analysis that we do, and then use all of this knowledge as part of the mock exams that we will do. So again, you're not leaving anything unturned and you're good to go for your exam. So moving on, they tell us that Zealand's major cities have grown rapidly. So the big cities are still growing rapidly, and many are struggling with the difficulties caused by traffic congestion and the resulting pollution. So again, when you say that there's going to be traffic congestion and there is a lot of pollution, this clearly again supports or subordinates your market, because by using hoverboards, you're helping the environment in two ways. You're reducing the traffic congestion and obviously reducing pollution as well. So like we highlighted, competitive advantage, this is a competitive advantage for you, which you can market on. You can say that by using our products, you're helping the environment, and many people are environmentally conscious. They might be able, or that they might be happy to try out your services. So competitive advantage and further opportunity for your business, as it will invoke a sense of responsibility among people, helping our services expand. Because the more you market on this, the more people want to try it. And if it works out, it could really pick up. So this is the marketing strategy that you can further use, further suggest when we go to our mock answers. So again, giving you ideas. Next, Runabout is based in Gland, like we told you. Now, Gland is the fictional country that they've given you, and they've also given you a fictional currency, which is G dollars. Now, Gland requires companies to prepare their financial statements in accordance with the International Financial Reporting Standards. So, everything will have to be inside the laws of the IFRS reporting, which you might have done as part of your operational and management case study. You will not be tested on the exact financial standards over here because that's already been done. You only need to know the basics of your F3, which we will further highlight as we move on to the pre-scene analysis and show you the exam blueprint core areas which CIMA have highlighted and which we have highlighted as well throughout our pre-scene, making sure that your study is effective and you are also not looking away from the most important parts of the pre-scene analysis. So moving on again, they're telling us that Gland has a well active and regulated stock exchange. Means there will be certain stock exchange rules, regulations that you're supposed to follow, which we also must know from our E3 and P3 studies, which is again highlighted in our notes that we will give you. Now, companies that are quoted on the stock exchange are required to adhere to the Gland Code of Corporate Governance, which sets out detailed regulations relating the companies which are quoted. Now, the Gland Code of Corporate Governance, you can say, will be pretty much similar to the UK Code of Corporate Governance, since that's what we have studied. So this is where your E3 studies on the corporate governance code are important here. Corporate governance code is how the company is being run, how is it being governed. The corporate governance code sets out certain committees, certain standards that every company which is quoted has to follow. So that study of yours from the E3 syllabus and from our notes and from our CIMA exam blueprint explanations, which we will give you, will make it very easy. So as you can see, we are highlighting the problem for you, we are highlighting the point for you, highlighting the opportunities for you, and we are also giving you a method of how you can consolidate it by just revising from our easy notes. Now you need to know the code and what are its specifications. You can assume that this is going to be very similar to the UK Corporate Governance Code, which again is mentioned in our studies. So as you can see, again, giving you ideas every single step of the way. So moving forward now, we're going to talk about the micromobility industry. So remember, we are still not talking about our company. We are still only and only talking about the industry over here. Still the industry. Now, micromobility is relatively a recent innovation dating from the early 2000s. So as we already know, it's an innovative market. It's a market that's growing, that we did on our second page. Now, this market is still in its growth stage and it will be highly capital intensive because of the new research, the new development that will go into developing your products, improving your products, and then taking it to the market. So, this is telling you that your product or your business is going to be high capital intensive in this early stage, just to make sure that you're always innovating, always one step ahead of the market, and being able to give the customers a very unique experience so that they come back to you. Next, it involves the provision of one-way rental services that enable users to complete the so-called last mile of a journey quickly and efficiently. So remember, this is your model where you are trying to convince people that you can take your last mile, for example, from home. Let's say you're staying outside the city. So you take a train to the city center, and from the city center, you hire our hoverboard and use it to get to work. So for that last mile, you are promoting your business so that the journey is completed quickly and efficiently by the customer. So this is your business model. This is what you will want to market around. So micromobility users rent, say, a bicycle, scooter, or a hoverboard. So remember, the micromobility is not only hoverboard, it's bicycles, scooters, and hoverboards from one location and return it to another location, which is conveniently closer to their final destination. So again, the mobility is made easy for the last mile. Now, typically, users are commuters who need a fast and efficient way to get from, let's say, a city center railway station to their office. So, like I said, from a bus stop, city center bus stop to your office, from a railway station to your office. Now, as you will see, this model is being marketed and is efficient only in places that are going to have high footfalls and the problems of traffic congestions, which is evidently going to be city centers. So, as you can see, going back and forth, the major area where you will be generating business is going to be these traffic congested city centers so that people can use your micro mobility product to get to their work or get to any location that they want to quickly. So these are light bulb situations for you which we are highlighting just so it flickers, it clicks something in place and you understand the industry better, and hence what our company is going to deal with, and use it as part of your answer. Now, after this, they're telling us that micromobility is generally used for relatively short journeys. Now, you can't expect somebody to ride a bicycle or a hoverboard in normal business, in normal circumstances, I'm saying, to ride a hoverboard for 2 hours. The hoverboard probably might lose battery, or it's not really feasible as well. So it's used for relatively short journeys and so augments traditional public transport, which means supports traditional public transport rather than replacing it. So you can't say that the local bus or the local train is our competition. Not really, because if the local train does not bring the customer from his house to the city center, how is he going to then hire your service? So public transport is not your competition. It needs to be seen as a partner in your growth. The more you use your docking stations in and around this public transport, the more you consider public transport as your partner, the better you will be able to serve these customers. So that is why I've put a star for you over here to remember this. Now, commuters might be encouraged to travel into the city center by train or by bus, knowing that there is a micromobility solution right next to the local train stop or the local bus stop or the taxi stop. So once they get off that mode of transport, they can quickly hire your micromobility products and reach their destination. So that's what the goal of these micromobility products are. It's not for long journeys or long routes. It helps you deliver and finish your last mile quickly. So now moving on, remember we're still talking about our industry. We have not yet started talking about Runabout or our company yet. We are still only talking about the micromobility industry. So we talk about bicycle sharing as we know it's one of the options under the micromobility umbrella. Now, bicycle sharing permits users who are registered with a provider to rent bicycles on a short-term basis. The provider creates a network of bicycle docking stations or dock across city centers so you can take it from one place, put it in another place. Easy. Users can release a bicycle from a dock by identifying themselves, usually by swiping a debit or a credit card. So you will generally have to, how it works around the world in real world life. In real life, is you register with them, or maybe on an app, or maybe on some kind of website where you enter your details, and then once you go to the place where the actual docking system is, you just need to again verify yourself with the machine that's there, maybe swipe your card again, and the bicycle will be released. Now they can use the bicycle for as long as they wish and are charged a higher fee for releasing the bicycle until it's returned to the dock, which may not be the same dock, it can be anywhere else. Now, providers locate docks in places which encourage one way journeys. For example, the city center bus and railway stations are obviously most convenient. Docks close to major office buildings are also very convenient to increase your business. Users may then, if they wish, hire a bicycle for the first part of their return journey, taking the bicycle from a dock close to their employment office and dropping it off to a station where they will catch their bus or the train. So, like we spoke about, that's the model of the business which is generally happening in this micromobility industry in real world and in the pre-scene that they've given us. Now, bicycle sharing, all of us know, is a cheap option and it's convenient as well because it helps you convert that last mile journey or cover that last mile journey quickly. Cycling is generally faster than walking and can also be faster than your local bus in traffic hours. And that is why sometimes these bicycle hire charges for sharing schemes are generally inexpensive because that's the model. Make more people use it so they get used to your service and then keep hiring that bicycle from you. Now, all of these factors that we mentioned above, like there being traffic, there being congestion, people wanting to be environmentally friendly, cover the last mile quickly, inexpensive services, all of this together has led to the growth of this bicycle sharing market among many European countries and is coming up in many developed countries around the world as well. Now, these are factors which people are realizing and are happy to choose as an alternative. So, this is further intent, further growth of people using these micro mobility options. Now, yes, you are in your hoverboard segment, you make hoverboards, but still, the more people prefer the micro mobility industry, the more they will be drawn towards your product as well. Now, having said that, this is where we'll end the first part of our pre-scene analysis. Now, our full pre-scene analysis, like I've mentioned, is about 2 hours and 15 minutes or so. It does include a word-by-word explanation of the pre-scene document, like you are seeing over here. Same way we'll continue forward. We also do a full financial analysis in your pre-scene. You might have seen that the pre-scene released by CIMA has financials as well. Now, those financials, those ratios, those numbers, all of that is calculated by us and ready as part of our PDF file that I've again mentioned you will receive. And it will also guide you on how you can use them is as part of your answer, because knowing everything again is one thing, you have all the numbers in front of you, but how to use them is also what we will show you, how it's to be done. So everything comes from us. We will give you the full pre-scene analysis, as part of a PDF file. We will also be giving you an industry analysis PDF, which will be explained and which will then help you, transform into this pre-scene. We will also then start with mock exam questions. So, like I've spoken about it, after we finish our pre-scene analysis, we begin with practicing mocks. Now, these mocks are exactly like the exam, to the standard of the exam, and they will really challenge you and make you think by putting yourself in this exam conditions. Now, because SEMA is allowing exams from home for this May period, it's your chance to take advantage of it and sit the exam from home while flexibly studying with us. Now, we also give you the opportunity to do live classes with us, where we have our full case study course, where you can start with twice a week live classes with us to make discussions, to further check your answers, go through your doubts, and obviously a one-on-one interaction that you receive, the personal attention that we give comes with the live class. So everything comes from us for your case study exam. It's just that you got to follow what we say. So hope you have found this helpful. Please reach us on the email that has been left in the description below. You can go to our website. The link has been again left in the description below. If you have any questions, please do reach us and we'll be happy to help you out in the most flexible and the most easiest way. So hope you have found this helpful and we hope to hear from you very soon. Stay safe and I will speak to you guys very soon. Thank you.